So today I want to talk to you about a common statement that I've been seeing and hearing in the early years world for a long time, and that is it's becoming too Pinterest worthy. So there's so much beauty in these environments that it's becoming a little bit unrealistic. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is how beauty is actually really important in the early childhood world and for children's development. And we're going to dive deeper into that. But first, what I really want to do is start this off by saying a huge thank you and a big shout out to everybody for watching last week's episode and all the beautiful comments that I have received. I'm just so very grateful. And so I would like to take this time and just share one of the comments that I read as well. Okay, so she wrote, "It's a blessing to find such a great range of resources you're talking about and information that can simplify my work and make it easy. Thank you very much and can't wait for more blogs to come in the future." Thank you so much for taking the time to write that. I very much appreciate it, and that is exactly what I want this blog to be, is for you to be able to take practical information and input it into your practice right away and to be able to see those results. So thank you. I'm very grateful that you are finding that already. Okay, so let's get into this whole connection between beauty within the early years world and child development. So I believe that children deserve beautiful things, beautiful environments, and spaces to explore and learn in. As long as you have that intention and the meaningful why behind what you are doing, the beauty will be the byproduct. So I thought, to help us understand why beauty needs to be in child development, let's first start with the basics of defining what beauty is. So I'm going to read a little definition that I got off of a blog, and that link to that blog will be in the show notes below as well, okay? So, beauty is rather a measure of affect, a measure of emotion. So within the context of art, beauty is the gauge of successful communication between participants. Now, I thought that was really, really key to all of this, is that it's the communication. That's what defines beauty, is if the participants are understanding what is actually happening, what the artist is trying to portray, and they're understanding that. So let's relate this to the early years world. So communication between participants, what is that within the early years world? That can be between child to child to the materials, child to the environment, child to educator, and child to its own self as well. So the way that we set up our environments, we are communicating to the children about what we hope and dream for them and what we hope they take from these materials that we've brought in. We're trying to communicate something with them because our environments are a third teacher. They are meant to speak for us. So to go a little deeper into this, I also wanted to look at, well, what else is associated with beauty? And I believe that is creativity. So I thought, again, to go back to the basics, let's look at what a definition of creativity is. So I'm going to read another definition, and I have that blog linked in the show notes as well. Okay, so simply put, creativity involves transforming your ideas, imagination, and dreams into reality. When you're being creative, you can see the hidden patterns, make connections between things that aren't normally related, and come up with new ideas. Creative ability depends on creative thinking, which is part hard work, but largely creative problem solving. So this can be related to the thought processes to the end result. And when you think about that, so if you think about creativity and how it's transforming ideas, creating a new reality, and in the end result typically ends up being sometimes something that is what we perceive as beautiful, or as the children perceive as beautiful. So let's look at how creativity and beauty are related to early child development. So last week, or early this week, I posted a variety of pictures of what loose parts play can really look like. And there's always a lot of comments of, thank you so much for posting this. This is what my classroom looks like all the time. And that is very true. My environment never stayed the same. It always looked well played in. It started off sometimes absolutely beautiful, those Pinterest worthy pictures, but it never stayed like that. And that's not the point of it. It's meant to be played in and used. So when people ask me, what do you think of messy play, or how does your environment stay like that? I'm always like, it doesn't. So I feel like when you think about it, sorry, I'm just trying to gather my thoughts here. So I believe that play is a story. Sorry, let's go back. I believe that setting up an environment first is a story, a communication from us as the educator. So we are telling a story of what we think that children want to learn, our image of a child in that, to the kinds of materials that we bring in. It is a story of us that we are trying to communicate to the child. The play that happens from the environment, the children take over our story and they start to put their own perspective into it. So their story starts to unravel, and this is when it starts to come out into the play environment. So I believe that play is really just a story of children's thoughts and ideas that you can see that have happened all throughout the play environment. And you can document this and you'll be able to retell it. And I believe that there is lots of beauty in that as well, because it shows the creative part. And with beauty being successful communication between the participants, if the children are sparked with creativity and they want to engage with it from what I have set up, then I believe that they have got the communication successfully. And so that brings in that beauty within your environment as well. Okay, so I challenge you guys to post pictures of your environments, and it's fabulous if they look absolutely stunning. However they look, just post them. And then also post pictures of the children playing in them. And then share your story of what you tried to communicate with the children and what they communicated back. And let's discover the beauty of a beautiful environment and the beauty within children's play as well. So share those photos into the Facebook group, All Things Early Years. There's a link to get into that group in the show notes as well. And I want to read all of your amazing stories on the beauty of stunning pictures of environments that are Pinterest worthy and the just as stunning photos of children's play in the environments as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week.